What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage and we are back today with another legendary ranking video for you all. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the best legendaries right now in the game currently. It's always important to refresh given how much the meta changes, but as of late, nothing much has changed. You guys can see here with my roster, these are all the legendary characters ranked here from most powerful to least, but as well, keep in mind, the power level in this doesn't necessarily always mean that this is the most important characters from top bottom. What I've built here is a spreadsheet, and this is also going to be available in the link in the description below if you guys want to see the full chart. But as you guys can see, I've ranked each legendary here based on their usage in the game, right? So that's going to include arena, campaign, the raid modes, war, dark dimension, and whether or not they're ultimately used for a legendary unlock. So as you guys can see here, it is quite a little bit different from what I have right now ranked up, so I am going to talk about each and every one of them. But you guys can see here with the rankings, generally just counts up objectively and analyzes how much usage each of these legendary characters are utilized in the game. So that being said, you can see at the very top here, Jubilee still ranks as #1 here with the most points across the board. Her mutants team is still the only mutant team that can actually take on Doom 2 raids. As you can see, she's used in almost every single mode, and she also has usages across the game, right? So I mean, that's why no surprise. On top of that, her unlock difficulty isn't too bad in the sense that it does require the Pim tech, but the majority of them are available, and really the hardest one is Ghost being in the war store, right? So a great difficulty and great value if you're able to get Jubilee, because her team roster is very, very powerful. We're going to take a look here at the next 2 4 rankings here in Adam Warlock and Ebony Maw. Both of them powerful in their own way. One's supportive, the other one's more so, being crowd control and having that CC in the team. So that being said, Adam Warlock right now, they're both classified as hard in terms of unlock difficulty, so generally about the same level. But I would say right now, this is going to likely change in the near future. Infinity Watch is already kind of losing their flair already in the arena, and Ebony Maw and the Black Order team have already fallen off. So at this point, really where you get value from Ebony Maw is the legendary nodes in Dark Dimension 4 as well as Dark Dimension 5, but he also costs a lot to build him up, so I can definitely see this changing in the coming months here. So I don't expect these two to stay up there, but Adam Warlock and the Infinity Watch team right now, they're still the top team meta in the game until otherwise stated, right? So I predict that it's going to be the legendary horsemen that are going to come as a result of Apocalypse, but for the time being, they hold their stance right now, but I do expect this to change, and that's why it's always good to review these legendary characters and where they rank, right? The next mix here is very interesting in the sense that there's a lot of characters that are ranked in that 3, and what's more important here is actually taking a look at unlock difficulty, right? So clearly some are easier than others, and that's why it's important to highlight. Definitely right now, bang for buck in the game, Shuri is hands down the best. For a couple reasons. She's used across a lot of modes, as you can see. Very useful early in game if you can get her to push you through the campaign nodes. She has usages in raid in the end game as well for Doom 2 raid. So tech is very limited right now on what they can provide, but she's one of the few characters in the game that's tech that can provide some support such as defense up and healing. So for that reason, she's gained value there. And on top of that, she actually is one of the most easiest legendaries to unlock. I would say her and Invisible Woman are definitely two of the most achievable, especially when you're starting off beginner to mid game. Very, very easy to achieve. So that's where she ultimately gets value. Definitely one of the first recommendations in terms of getting legendary if you guys are unsure which one to begin with. Next, you see here that we also have Dr. Octopus at being moderate, right? He's quite easy with the X-Force. A lot of them are actually farmable in the campaign modes, but as well, Dr. Octopus, he gets a lot of value in raid, war, and Dark Dimension. Not as strong as a raid character in my opinion, but right now he is slotting in part of my my tech team right now for Doom 2 raids, but that will likely change in the future. So do I expect his ranking to go down? He's very, very powerful in war, and that's really mainly what his team is intended for. But otherwise, I also used him in Dark Dimension, and he's got some useful capabilities. I really like his kit overall. And then lastly, we do have the harder characters to unlock. So that's going to be Phoenix and Omega Red. Phoenix isn't as hard as before now because they did decrease her star rating, and as well now she has some synergy with them adding magic in the game, so she has a little bit more survivability that's prevented by Kestro. So that definitely gives her more feasibility now for playage. And as well, the Omega Red right now, it's occurring right now. He's still a very, very hard character to get in the game. Omega Red, one of the most powerful legendaries, but for the reason that he's so hard to get, that's why he's only getting that 3 ranking here, because you can see he's used in raids, war, and Dark Dimension. But just due to how difficult he is, he's one of the few characters in the game that actually needs another legendary to unlock. And and that's why it is quite difficult. A lot of players this time around have gotten to achieve him, and that's really, really promising, right? That being said, you guys, so now that we've taken a look in terms of the best legendaries in the game, let's review the rest of the ones that are kind of just sitting on a roster that's not being used, right? That I can see potentially. So, Nick Fury, Black Bolt, Star-Lord, Invisible Woman, Magneto, and Iron Man. Definitely, we can expect to see some love for them in the future, because it's not unheard of for this game to actually rework some characters that aren't used. And for sure, if we know what's happening right now with the movies and everything that's going on, we may potentially see a Star-Lord rework, just because of the fact that there is a movie coming out for him, so there may potentially be some love there. Invisible Woman can be argued to be more powerful in the future, just because of the fact that Fantastic Four is getting a rework in the movie, and as well, some players have opted to utilize her in Dark Dimension 4 and 5. Now that we've seen a more powerful city characters coming into the fold, so not as many players are investing in bio characters such as the symbiotes, and then instead have those resources now allocating to Invisible Woman. So definitely an option if you guys have bio gear. That's why she's lower on the end here, but I would say for that reason, her ranking should go up in the future, especially if we reinvest materials that's not going to be focused in bio, and then that can be allocated to other city characters such as Shang-Chi, Cloak and Dagger. So that definitely will happen. Otherwise, I don't actually see the other characters like Iron Man, Magneto, Nick Fury right now. They're staying put for the time being, and potentially Black Bolt as well, right? Black Bolt's future is uncertain because he does have a very strong offensive output. He's got the unique opportunity in the game where he actually prevents characters from being revived, but he's just a very sluggish character, and unless you have a very high red star on him and fully invested, he's very expensive to bring up as well, just due to him being bio, right? So that's currently where all the legendary characters rank right now in the game, you guys. In summary, if you feel free to invest in Jubilee right now, I still believe Adam Warlock, even despite the Infinity Watch team falling out of place right now and losing their top threshold, he's still going to be a very, very powerful character in the game due to his capabilities, right? Anytime you have a character that has ability block, a double stun, they're for sure going to add value, and his revive on himself. So these are definitely some of the more powerful legendaries in the game. And as well, Omega Red is another one that I see going up in the future, just because he's got that trauma condition. All of his abilities strip HP percentage. A very, very powerful character overall. I am working on slowly building him up, but as you can see, I'm not in an immediate rush, just because you never know if there's more events that actually need them built up. So there you guys have it. That is a quick overview of the most powerful legendary characters right now in the game, where they rank, and where I foresee them going. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick and brief video. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.